The other day, I came across a video that was talking about giving up and how people usually give up when they feel at a standstill and they've tried and tried and tried and feel like nothing is changing. And so they give up because they think whatever they're doing is not working. I don't remember the conclusion exactly, but what that kind of made me think about was a client of mine that I had last year who, she was so defeated by this manifestation process that she was like, I just want to give up. Actually, I remember a few people said that to me, but I remember her in particular. And she was just so frustrated. I remember she was very emotional. And she was like, I don't know, like nothing I'm doing is working. I'm working on my self-concept and I've done this and I've done that, but I feel like giving up. And then I heard it again recently with another client. But what I told them, when people tell me they're giving up, I don't see it as you giving up on manifestation. You're giving up on the efforting, which is normal, if not ideal, because in this community, it feels like you're constantly doing something. Everyone's teaching in their own manners, and with that comes their own techniques. Even if they may make it seem like it's not a technique, sometimes it is, like, repeating affirmations all day long, or journaling, or and again, I always say, do what works for you, what makes you feel good, what doesn't feel like work, because I'm lazy and I don't want to feel like I have to do something, right? Because that's exhausting. It's not supposed to be work, it's supposed to be fun. But I think when and this is entirely up to the, user. You get to decide how you want to take whatever it is that you're watching. But that being said, you don't have to do what is being shown to you or told to you. If you're watching a coach that you like or a content creator and they're saying, "Oh yeah, I do, daily journaling and it really helps me and I've manifested X, Y, and Z just from journaling." That may work for them and that's wonderful, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you're supposed to find your own rhythm in all of this. You're supposed to find what works for you, what makes this process enjoyable for you and easy for you, because while everyone is a reflection or projection of you, doesn't mean that you have to experience life exactly the same as others, right? And I think when people get to that point of giving up, it's a great thing, because it means that you finally are at a point where you don't need to do anything truly. Just sit back and allow everything to happen for you, because that's how it should be. You're not supposed to work all the time for this. And already, you manifest all the time, because manifestation is just a reflection or projection of your innermost beliefs and thoughts and whatever you want to call it, conviction, knowing, or you know what I mean? But the way you change your knowing doesn't necessarily have to be through journaling or through affirmations. Sometimes you can just take do one thing that's gonna, snap you out of it, and boom, you're done. And you have a completely different belief around that thing. That's happened to me a few times. Death in particular is one of them. I used to be very afraid of death, and even just hearing the word or people talking about it, I would literally get such a bad stomach pain to where I would throw up, because I was just afraid. But then I had an experience a few years back, and it was just that one time, and I have no fears of it whatsoever anymore. Right? And that was just a one time thing. I didn't journal to get over my fear or affirm or remind myself every single day. It was just a one time thing, right? And that can happen for you. Maybe you get so fed up that you tell yourself you're giving up, but that one moment of frustration or whatever it is, you're like, you know what, screw this. And then you kind of go on with your life and boom, right? Because you're not, the way I see it is when the people who are, tired of it or want to give up are the ones that are, it's almost like a forced awareness that you're constantly trying to remind yourself of the journey, of the process, of what you're doing, why you're doing it, so on and so forth. And that is exhausting. Yeah, that is mental exhaustion. You shouldn't have to remind yourself every single day why you're doing what you're doing or why you want what you want. You make a desire, you have a desire, and you just claim it like, okay, yeah, this is my experience, this is what I want to have. And that's it, right? Like you're not supposed to sit here and obsess over it. That's that's insane. And that is exhausting. Um and so I think giving up is actually a really good thing when people get to that point. When I was in my law of attraction phase, I never really had that give up thing because it never felt like work because I was just so excited about all of it, and I was manifesting flawlessly left and right, and just everything was happening. I was like, oh my God, like this is life. This is amazing. And then I don't know what happened at some point. I kind of, I guess, fell off the wagon, or I don't know. I got too consumed by all the nonsense and forgot my who I am. But then when I came back to the law of assumption and I was reading on, manifesting SP and X's and this and that and the other, and I was like, oh, I can do that, because I didn't know I could. And so when I started doing that, it felt forced because I was watching so much content and they were all saying their own thing. Make sure you're affirming, make sure you journal, write a list, write a list of all the bad things and write a list of your good things, and then burn that list, and then I don't know, anytime it comes to mind, say it the way you want it. Visualize, make sure you're meditating, make sure you're, I trust me, I did everything, and it did feel like work, and I was like, oh my God, this is exhausting. And again, because I'm a self-proclaimed lazy person, I don't like to work for anything. I don't like to work, period. It felt exhaustive. And so my body, or my 3D vessel, was rejecting it, and I became fed up, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, I hate it. And it almost made me uncomfortable having to think about me manifesting my manifestation or my desire, whether I was, out and about with my friends or at work or watching TV or whatever it was. Anytime it came to mind, I was like, oh, I need to meditate today, or oh, I need to do this. And that's not anyone's fault but my own. But what I'm saying is, it felt exhausting. I was like, I don't want to do this. I feel like I'm working too hard to get something that's supposed to be mine. And so when I had my little moment of like, screw all of this, I didn't necessarily give up on the manifestation, because I knew, I was like, no, this is going to happen. But I'm not working for it anymore. I'm not. I give up. I give up on the work. I'm not giving up on the desire. So I just started living my life. I cut out all of the content and the noise. I didn't even really like talking about it anymore, because I at some point made a lot of acquaintances who everyone was just constantly talking about manifestation. And to be very honest, it became exhausting. Like, I don't want to talk about this. Can we talk about something else? Anything. Like, let's freaking talk about the weather. But I do not want to spend another moment of my life talking about manifestation. And I just started living my life, and I started doing things that I wanted to do without the thought of manifestation in the back of my mind. I was like, no, if I am going to be on vacation, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of my vacation. I'm going to go do what the locals do. I'm going to do all these excursions, because I don't need to be thinking about it. I don't. My so-called SP was out living his freaking life. So why do I have to sit here and exhaust myself just to get him back? If I knew that I'm going to get him back, that's it. That's all that it takes, right? So that exhaustion for me actually worked, because, like I said, I stopped the efforting and the process and the actual quote unquote manifestation, and I just started enjoying my life more. And then it worked out. First of all, I felt 10 times better. There was like this weight was kind of lifted off my shoulders. But more than that, I also started enjoying my life. I wasn't anxious. I wasn't concerned like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or I'm doing too much, or am I in the right state of mind, or am I the right identity, and that. Like, it's just too much, I feel like. It should not be this complicated. If That's why I always say manifestation is simple, but it's not easy, because there's so much out there. There's so much information out there, and everyone is obviously, sharing their own ways and their own perspectives and what works for them, that it can be a lot. So you kind of just gotta find what works for you. And if you feel like giving up, that's not a bad thing. It is a wonderful thing. It means you're giving up on the process, you're giving up on the efforting, not on your desire. And if you want to think of giving up on as your if you want to think of it as giving up on your desire, fine. But when you make a decision, it's final. And only you can change that. Nothing else is gonna take it away from you. So you decided that you want this person, or you want this money, or you want this job. It's gonna be yours. You can have exactly what you want. I've always said that because I've gone exactly what I want, down to a T. So I know you can. It's just a matter of knowing, or just allowing yourself, trusting in yourself to know that you can have it just because you said so. You don't need to have a reason, but also knowing that you don't need to do anything at all. And I've said before that I don't even believe in actually taking action, because I think if you just sit at your home and, you watch TV all day long, you can still get rich. You can still find a lover. You can still have all kinds of great opportunities. They'll come to you. That's no surprise at all. But if you want to go do something, fine, go do something. While I like to be home a lot, I also like to go out and experience life, and traveling has become my new thing. But I'm going to go do it. I'm not going to think about my person while I'm on vacation. That is a horrible thing to do. I remember feeling like that when it was Christmas 2 years ago, and at this party I couldn't even like relax and enjoy it and drink and have fun with my friends, because I was like, okay, I need to make sure I'm on the right side. I need to visualize my man here with me. I need to revise, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. Oh my God, it was exhausting. I was a freaking loser. My friend was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." Do you see what I'm saying? It's just, yeah, give up on the effort, give up on the process, give up on the doing aspect of it all. I'm not saying be still and no, but I'm saying if you feel like you're giving up because you've tried and you've done so many things, wonderful. Stop doing things because you don't need to do anything. Allow things to happen for you. Allow things to be done onto you, not the other way around. And it is easier. It's so much easier to just sit back and let things happen for you. I mean, and wouldn't you want that anyway? It's like royalty. You sit back and you're being served on a golden silver platter all day long with whatever you want. Your ideal cuisine and your favorite drink, and you know, it's not meant to be hard. And I understand. Trust me, I get it. I've had my fair share of tears, and I've had my fair share of frustrations, and telling myself I give up, screw this. But even after, once you kind of let that anger out, which is totally fine, you can feel that of frustration and anger. You're also like, it's like crying when you have, especially when you built it up, and you suddenly just allow all your tears to fall, and you're like, oh, I feel so much better. That's kind of how it is. You release all that attachment to that effort. You're like, I don't need to, and then suddenly you're free, and you're like, oh my God, why was I trying so hard? I remember that's how I felt when I was in Switzerland with him, and I'm like looking at him thinking, what the hell was I? Why did I feel like I had to do so much? Why did it feel like I was efforting so much? I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm not explaining it too well, but give up. I say give up. Give up. If you want to, give up on it. You're not giving up on the desire. You're giving up on the actual work, because there doesn't even need to be work. Yeah, I think this is probably my shortest video, but I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening.